like a buccaneer. How you in the ship, you ain't a buccaneer.
Great morning. You're mic'd up on Monday morning with yours truly, Michael Clayton. And we are back in the saddle for a live edition of Mic'd Up Mondays. Now, when you are in my shoes, you are very busy. Very busy. Every minute of the day, there is something to do. I got 5 kids, married 16 years, a plethora of responsibilities that I have to manage every day. I got a business, Green Tiger Tampa. We do soft washing, so I'm running crews. So there's always something to do. And in trying to find balance in my life, I like to, take advantage of family time. And December is a very special month for me because, one, it's my wife's birthday. My wife was born on December 8th. So she has one of those luxury birthdays where you get the birthday gift, and then a few weeks later you get the Christmas gift. Hold now. It's a lot of pressure. And then my baby girl, my youngest, Megan Monroe, who will be turning 3 years old, was born the day after Christmas. So 2 luxury birthdays I have in my family, and it's a big month for me. So right off the bat, I met a lot of people this week. I met a lot of great people this week, and when I think about content that I want to share to the masses here, not only just in Tampa Bay, but because of what this network does on In Touch News, like we reach the whole world in internet radio. I like to talk about, my testimonies of meeting people. And so I have a very special guest. I had an event at Breitling on, I think it was in November, close to Thanksgiving. I had a signing with Breitling. Those who follow me know that I'm a part of the Breitling team. So shout out to Breitling Boutique in the International Mall. If you're looking for a luxury item to buy your wife or your hubby, I promise you, things have changed since I put this Breitling on my wrist, man. People recognize bezel bone. People recognize this Breitling watch from 5-10 feet away.
It's a nice watch.
And I didn't even know that because, watch wearing is like a lifestyle. It's kind of like RVs, camping, hunting. It's a lifestyle. And I didn't have no idea that some people spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a year on watches, because that's what they love to do. And, hey, if you got it, hey, go on and get it in. But I was welcomed into the Breitling family this year, so I do a lot of promotions there. I met an individual by the name of Miss Karen Denise Fultz Robinson, Esquire. Don't forget the Esquire. This sister has it going on. And I met her. They have a brand-new apparel company that they're launching or have launched. And when they came in, they were rocking this swag. And I was like, man, who got that? Where do you get that from? It was a very detailed design on the sleeve where your watch could be seen through the sleeve. And her husband was rocking this Breitling watch, and it was popping through his shirt. I was like, man, what? That's sexy right there. Mm-hmm. I need to get on that. And lo and behold, it was their own apparel line. So therefore, I told her about the podcast that I would love to have her on. So today we're going to be introducing the Tampa Bay area and across the world. We're going to be introducing you to Miss Carol Denise Fultz Robinson, Esquire. Don't forget the Esquire. Sister got it going on. All right. And we're going to introduce you to her and their new apparel line called Observer Mate. Listen, it's holidays, holiday season. What are you doing with your family? Okay, Bezel, we got to say any of these pictures rolled up, ready to rock?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We're still working on it.
We're still working on it. All right. Well, you got 2 brothers in here. It was a late night for me. 4:00 game with the Bucks. I didn't get home till 1-2 o'clock in the morning after being on radio for the post-game show. And then sometimes when we have late games, it's a bit of a scramble trying to get prepared for a Monday podcast. But here we are. We're going to roll with it. I took my family on my wife's birthday, I took them to Snowcat Ridge. And I've passed by this place. It's out in Brooksville. If anybody is familiar with the Tampa area, everyone knows our weather. Beautiful weather throughout the year. Even in December, you're going to get some 80, 85, maybe even 90s, all right, in Florida. So I'm driving through Brooksville. I'm going to see my chiropractor, Dr. Brian Dahmer, out in Spring Hill. I make multiple visits out to him to make sure that my body is aligned. And I drive, down this, desolate road. It's country town, and you don't see much. Your deers are jumping across the road, and I see this big old mountain. And I'm like, man, what is that doing in Florida? What is that? I passed by this place probably about 10 times. And I was like, man, that's the Olympics. I mean, like they doing an Olympic trial, like they doing snow skiing or whatever. And I was like, man, what is that place? Lo and behold, my wife eventually sends me a text message saying, I want to go to this spot. And she sends me a picture. And I was like, oh my God, that's the place. I thought it was an Olympic snow skiing place, but really it's a place called Snowcat Ridge, where families can go and they can experience wintertime here in Florida. And I'm talking about this place was off the chain. I got 5 kids. My 2 babies have never seen snow. My 15-year-old and 13-year-old experienced snow when I played with the New York Football Giants. They don't remember it. So experiencing snow is not something that's of the norm for I would say anybody who is set in the trenches here in Florida. So I took my kids there, man. I didn't know what the experience was going to be about. I bought the all access passes so they can slide as many times as they want, and it was pretty. Yeah,
we got a video.
Look, watch Daddy. He's making a snowball. What? Go get him. Go get Daddy.
You gotta, even though it's hot, you still have to be
I kicked it.
Like seeing heaven. Their eyes.
Oh, you got it. Wipe it on my hand. Is it cold? Is it Frio? I know it's super cold.
I mean, because.
All right, let's go back here and throw them at the avalanche. At the Yeti.
You gotta get all
right.
All
and
icy.
I think it was raining that day too.
It was raining a little bit, so that kind of messed up. So I would say if you're interested in going, look at the forecast, because one thing that did happen, it was raining. And when you're on the slide, when the rain is hitting the cold slides, it's freezing. So the slides weren't as fast as which they normally are. So if I had any regrets, I would have looked at the forecast and made sure that I went to Snowcat Ridge on a day where it wasn't raining, because we didn't get the full effect of the slides. And one thing for sure, they let you know they don't do any refunds. So once you buy this ticket, you sold and you are all in. So, I took my kids, man. The moment that we walked in the park, the kids' eyes were just huge. They had food trucks there. They had ice skating. I paid for the ticket, didn't even do it. It got a little late. My kids got to crying, so we was like, we out of here. I don't know if it was roller skating or ice skating. It's one or the other, but they have that as well. They have a family slide. So I have 2-year-old kid, 4-year-old kid. And there's a family slide for all of you to get in this big circular tube and you slide down. My babies, they were scared. They were traumatized getting on that slide, because it's a huge slide going down. So we had a lot of fun, man, and I was just excited to bring the kids out, experience something different. So it's the holidays, if you're in the mood looking for something different to do, I've been here 15 years. I've never seen anything like that in Florida. It was only 30 minutes away from my house. Regardless of where you're at, is no further than an hour away. A great way for you to experience wintertime here in Florida. Give your family a great outlet to have some fun and experience something that they've never experienced before. I would recommend that you try that out. Also, every day I pick up my kids from school, I kind of like to spend quality time. I begged my wife for more kids. We had 2 kids together, and we went 9 years. And while when my 13-year-old and 15-year-old were growing up, I was playing football, so I was not as present as I would have liked to be. And I missed a lot of first days of school. I missed a lot of plays. I missed a lot of their life growing up. So I begged my wife to give me some more kids. She said no for 9 years. And then she said, Bezel Bone, God must have touched her heart, because I was praying hard. And she came home one day and she told me, all right, I'll give you 1 month to try to have a baby. I was like, I don't need no month. All I need is 1 minute. Is all I need is 1 minute, baby. I saw a vision God put in my dreams that I would have more kids. She wanted me to get snipped. Is that a touchy subject, Bezelbone? Getting snipped?
It could be.
It could be.
It could be.
I told my wife I wouldn't. I told her I was getting snipped, because she said she wasn't having no more kids, so she wanted me to get snipped. But then I kind of made every excuse in the world. I was like, I ain't find that in the Bible yet about men getting snipped yet, so I ain't in full agreement with that. And so I begged her, kind of avoided the getting snipped topic for 9 years, and then lo and behold, she gives me an opportunity to have 2 kids. And they've been, lately they've been 2 of the biggest part of my blessings in life. And every day after school, I like to take them and do one-on-one time. So y'all listen up, man, because this is very interesting, and I know it may not be a hot topic for a lot of you. But for me, this is something how I like to spend time with my baby. So my children, because I played in the NFL and my wife's a doctor, we are a very fortunate family. God has blessed us tremendously. Our kids won't have to grow up like I did. All right, my wife is the only child, so she was spoiled her whole life. But for me, my parents had 3 kids growing up in the home. My dad had a son before he got married, and we didn't have a lot growing up, and we didn't do a lot other than sports. And, it just was a different lifestyle. On the other side of the spectrum, my kids are growing up, we got money, we got jobs, we got opportunities in life, and they go to private schools, they buy the best clothes, they're pretty much spoiled. We do it, but they have a different lifestyle. So a lot of times that can get a little, that can become a distraction, especially for young kids in this world. You grow up and it's kind of like the same identity crisis I went through playing in the NFL, whereas once you leave the NFL, you still feel like you're a famous football player, but you're not. You're not. You're in an identity crisis. You want people to treat you the same, but they don't. You're in an identity crisis. Your identity is in football, and I've learned that your identity needs to be into something more stable. So a lot of times when young kids are raised in wealthy families or rich families, they have nice cars, they're not in touch with the real world or the majority of the world. So what I like to do is I like to bring my little babies to University Mall. Yes, I said it. I said it. University Mall. And I have a 20-year-old, and, we have a University Mall type in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's called Cartana Mall. It's no longer, they tore it down. But I would always bring my oldest daughter to to Cartana Mall in Baton Rouge, just so, we would take pictures. I would buy her clothes, Oshkosh, Bigosh, all the cheap name brand clothes. But my baby had everything that she needed. Well, fast forward 20 years. Fast forward 20 years, and now I have an opportunity to culturalize my other 2 young babies to make sure that they are well aware of where they people at.
Yeah, we got a picture of you.
Oh yeah, well, so,
what you got there?
So when we go to University Mall, there's these little kind of like little ride 4-wheeler little type things. So
Nice.
They love to jump on those things, and you can ride these things all the way around the mall. It's only $10 for 10 minutes. 10 minutes is always good enough. Sometimes I pay $20. We'll go 20 minutes. That's too long. But we just have a ball, man. We have a great time. There are certain things set up in University Mall. There's not a lot of people in University Mall during the day, so the parks there, the little kid park that they have there is just me and my kids for the whole park. They run around. I'm talking we there from 12 to 5, just 4 or 5 hours. Hanging out in University Mall, spending quality time. Then we go into stores, buy them some Barbie dolls, $5, $10 Barbie dolls, not like the Target Barbie dolls that may cost $50, $60. I'm trying to help y'all out, But that's what we do on a constant every day, man. And I try to spend time with my kids. So just so you know, there's a lot of things to do. We're going to take a little break. We're going to come back. I got a very special guest coming in town, y'all. Stay tuned. You're mic'd up on Monday mornings with yours truly, Michael Clayton. We be right back.
So believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown. 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-7425. Never word from the point forward. Just recline. Just ask Ricky. Plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. Legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and getting you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers on the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Are you missing church?
Yes!
Well, you don't have to. Listen in every Sunday to Reverend Dr. Maurice Johnson. Voice your victory from the Memphis Christian Time and 12 noon Eastern Time on In Touch Radio.
In Touch Radio. This is Joel Sylvain
and Kevin Carr,
and we're with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives,
influencers
share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Come join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Power Moves on In Touch Radio.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here-for-you.
Too easy, baby.
Oh yeah, I've been telling y'all, drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid, cause the GOAT's in Tampa Bay. And we playing in the Super Bowl.
Welcome back. You're mic'd up on Monday morning with yours truly, Michael Clayton. I just told you all about, events that I did for the holidays. Big Cat Ridge was a great place to take the kids. Spending time with my babies in University Mall. My wife, she bougie, y'all. She may not want to step into University Mall, but it's important. It's important for young black kids in my situation who, go to private schools. They are, one of a very few kids of color in their classes and in their schools. So for me, it's very important to make sure that my kids never forget where they come from, to make sure that they're always treating people who look like us with honor and respect. And the only way to do that is to make sure that your kids are familiar. If you're in my situation, I know that that's not the majority of the world. I'm just trying to help you all out. There was another situation. I met a guy in University Mall. His name is Teran. I don't know if we have the picture up, but I met this guy. He had braids on. We're sitting there at the park at University Mall, and he has his kids. He's got like 5, 6 kids running around. His little baby is running up to me and my kids, and she's kind of like tuned in to what we're doing. And he's calling his baby to come over. I was like, no, she's fine. So my man comes over and we begin to have a talk, and he's like, man, you look familiar. So I introduced myself, Michael Clayton, former buddy. He's like, man, you famous, da-da-da-da-da-da. I was like, man, I'm just chilling. I've been blessed. I began to talk to this brother, and I'm going to just be candid with you because I feel like we can learn a lot from a lot of different things, whether it's someone judging someone, whether it's you paying attention to your appearance, whatever that lesson is, just hear me out because I'm going to just be candid and I'm going to tell y'all the truth, how I felt. So my man Teran, we sitting down. He's got his 5, 6 kids here. My brother to the right in the Picks fan. So I took a picture with them. But he talked about how, he's in the church, right? Parents are pastors. He has some pressure washing and painting and all these and auto detailing and all of these things. And I was like, I got a roof cleaning business, and Green Tiger, we're doing very, very well. We've serviced almost 200 clients this year in our first year, and our business is growing. I'm always looking for people to train, to bring on to the Green Tiger team so I can continue to grow my business. So I was very interested about his work ethic and all the things that he was doing on the side. I was even more so interested that he was telling me that he was in the church, because when I looked at the brother, didn't have any tattoos on him. His braids, I had the braids. I wouldn't have pinged him as a guy that's rooted in the church. And I say, y'all just take this for what it's worth. His hair was kind of a little, rugged a little bit. And that's where my mind first went, well, man, I want to hire you, but, I need you to clean them braids up, because the people that I service, your high-end people, and they don't want any scraggly people coming to their homes and cleaning their homes. They want people dressed right, look nice. Coach Saban, when I played for him in college, you couldn't have dreads just hanging out your helmet. You had to keep it nice and neat. You had to put it in a rubber band. You had to put it in a ponytail. It always had to be tucked tight. So I learned way back in college that your appearance, or how your hair look, is important. Coach Saban taught me that. So I'm just telling y'all, I met this brother. He begins to tell me about himself. I didn't see who he was telling me who he was. And he went on to say that, man, I got a good job, and, I work in the union. He kept saying, I work in the union. And so I was familiar with, union workers in New York, but not really familiar with that in Florida, a little bit familiar in Louisiana. And he begins to tell me about his TWIC card, a TWIC card, and the requirements to obtain a TWIC card. So I felt this was very important because what the brother was telling me was life-changing. Here he is making $30, $40 an hour, being able to go out and make $300, $400 in a day. He works when he wants to work. He works a nighttime job stacking at Sam's Club, and then he works on a yard. It's many different places that he works at, and he has his own schedule where he can work whenever he wants to work. And I was like, man, that's amazing. You can set your own schedule. You can make as much money as you need to make. And he was like, man, that's why I work here and there. He said, I wouldn't be able to take care of my 7 kids if I didn't work. He said, I provide for my kids. So here's this brother who you would think that, just a normal guy, may not have much for himself, but he's doing really, really well, and it's because of this TWIC card. And I was like, man, how do you obtain it? He's like, well, first of all, man, you can't get into no trouble. You cannot have a criminal record and obtain a TWIC card.
Yeah, you can't.
So I was like, that's huge. People need to know about this at a young age. I'm seeing this brother man his household, take care of his household, 7 kids, spending time with them, changing diapers, girl dad, boy dad, all of that, hanging out, working his butt off. And it was only because he never got in trouble that he was offered an opportunity to provide for his family. So I invited him onto my podcast. I don't know when he's gonna join us, so he can give y'all all of the details. But I just felt it was important to talk about because so many of our young people grew up, and you in these impoverished communities, you're in gangs, violence. I used to have a foster care transitional home, so all of the kids that I was dealing with at 15 years old already had a criminal record. They're already out of contention for a TWIC card already at 15. So I just felt like it was important to talk about because the government does have systems in place for you to provide more than enough for your family if you go about it the right way. So I just wanted to encourage parents out there who are listening, mentors out there who are listening. Maybe you young, maybe you have a criminal record, maybe you don't have a criminal record and you're trying to look for a way to kind of move forward in life. I heard a testimony from Tehran that, man, that's life changing. Being able to make $300-400 in a day, support your kids. TWIC card is what's happening. If I wasn't into everything that I was doing, and I would have got my TWIC card as well. But I just wanted to share that. We got a caller coming in. You're mic'd up on Monday morning with yours truly, Michael Clayton. Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with today?
Hello? We lost the caller.
Lost the caller. No call?
No call.
All right, no call. All right, no call. Listen, call back. That number is 813-444-9588. Right now, we're going to take a quick break because I want to lend all of the opportunity and this time and space for y'all to be introduced to Miss Karen Denise Fultz Robinson, Esquire. She is the owner of an apparel company called Observame. And we want to talk all about it. So when we come back, I'm going to introduce you to her, how she got into the business, her law career and everything that she's experiencing right here in Tampa Bay. You mic'd up with on Monday mornings with yours truly, Michael Clayton. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh yeah, I've been telling y'all, drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid, cause the GOAT's in Tampa Bay. And we playing in the Super Bowl.
Buccaneer. One eye patch like a Buccaneer. How you wanna ship you in a Buccaneer? 12 shots on me like a Buccaneer. Diamonds on me shining cause a Buccaneer. Big star defense Buccaneer.
Catch my show that will be all up in your business. Let's Talk Business with Cheryl J. Couso. Every Wednesday at 12:31 p.m. My business experts provide insight for business entities and entrepreneurs. So join us every Wednesday from 12:31 p.m. to 1:31 p.m. at www.intouchnews.com. Catch my show.
See you nodding your head and tapping your feet. In Touch Radio will be right back.
Y'all be playing some of the best music I ever heard.
With more of your OMG jams, we're In Touch Radio.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Hello, Tampa Bay. This is Ainsley Doe with Florida Realty Unlimited. As a broker with 15 years experience and a veteran of the Navy, I do understand your needs. Real estate prices are up. So if you're thinking of selling your home, call me for a free market analysis. If you're planning to buy a home, please call me for a free buyer's consultation. For more information, Call Ainsley Doe at 813-546-1954. Once again, the number is 813-546-1954. Or check my ad out in the In Touch You.
Too easy, baby.
Oh yeah, I've been telling y'all, drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid, cause the GOAT's in Tampa Bay. And we playing in the Super Bowl.
Welcome back. You're mic'd up on Monday morning with yours truly, Michael Clayton. And we are back in the saddle with another episode of Mic'd Up Mondays. Today is a very special day, and I tell y'all about the people that I meet often. And when I meet people who are game changers, difference makers, people who inspire me and could potentially inspire you as well, I want to make sure that these people are well known, that you know who they are. Maybe you're in the market to doing what they do. Maybe you need their services. Maybe you are interested in their products. That's what this platform is about, making sure that we have a platform to reach the masses. So today we got a very special guest. I met this young lady at Breitling. She's popped in at one of my signings at Breitling. They were in there shopping, and we were able to meet her. She was actually selling their apparel in the Breitling store. The Breitling managers told me about their products and how they just enjoyed partnering with this local company. Her name is Karen Denise Fultz Robinson, Esquire. Please welcome her to the show.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
There we go. Give her a little round of applause. So welcome. I want to get right into it, and I say this is Miss Karen Denise Fultz Robinson, Esquire. Don't forget the Esquire. My sister is doing big things. Kind of bring us into your career, your journey and being a lawyer, where that's taking you, and then we'll get into your apparel and all of that good stuff.
Absolutely. It's been a wonderful journey. We started, let me go back to Detroit, hometown. That's right, Michigan State. Cooley Law School, transitioned to Atlanta after graduating from law school, and I'll pick up from the time where I became a partner at Cozen O'Connor, which is where my law career really launched. I developed mentors and relationships that became pivotal in even creating Observer-May and understanding relationships and how that actually will help you intellectually, developing the wisdom that you need to continue to move forward. So my partnership there, it grew into a wonderful landscape in terms of developing a practice area where I felt was most comfortable in developing a client base that would create longevity in the field. Because when you practice law, it becomes a part of you and it's your passion. And you are helping people, but you're also making sure, because the law is so dynamic, that when it changes in a positive way, and you want to be on that side of that positive change. So partnering with Cozen O'Connor, and then reached out to my alma mater looking for just a change in life and saying, hey, I think I want to teach. And my former professor says, well, come to Cooley Law School. And I said, oh, well, I've never thought about that. So I moved to Florida, became a professor.
We stole you.
Y'all stole me. I never thought I would leave Atlanta.
We stole you.
But the traffic helped.
Oh, yes. I mean, depending on what parts of Florida, I mean, the traffic can get a little backed up here as well. But it is no comparison to Atlanta. I promise you that.
Oh, 6 lanes of congestion.
Oh, my goodness. It's miserable.
Hour in the car dictating letters. I don't miss that. I don't.
So what's your specialty in law?
Well, it became commercial based. It was more of subrogation is what it's called, dealing with insurance companies and recovering dollars back after a major property loss. So dealing with $1 million losses plus. And the practice area kind of morphed into family law when I dealt with more pro bono, free legal services. Also practice personal injury law from a workers' compensation standpoint, but also on the private side as well. So it's a civil-based law practice. I don't do criminal law.
Yeah, I got you.
I tell the judges when they say, hey, you need to volunteer, I was like, that's not a good place for me.
I got you. Talk about being a woman of color in that field. So many different fields across the world. We hear horror stories about equality, about being mistreated. But how was it for you making that transition And being a person of color, has it been beneficial? Have you met trials and tribulations? What's that been like for you?
Gosh, that's a lot to unwrap. So it's difficult, and it continues to be a journey as a Black woman, because you are going to encounter a lot of challenges when you just walk into a room. I remember walking into a room as a professor. I'll start there, and then I'll go back into the practice of law. And the first thing you encounter are people who want to challenge your intellect because of the color of your skin and because of your gender. They think you don't know.
Yes.
So you're always challenged, you're always questioned, you're always, and I always would say to someone, I wouldn't be here if I didn't know more than you.
Right.
You're learning from me, I'm not learning from you. But it's a constant push-pull type situation. But I never saw it as a situation where I would run away from it. Mm-hmm. It would always embolden me to push forward and push harder because I knew I could overcome it. I think about my parents. I learned so much more about my dad this past week. I visited his sister who's 95 and realized my dad lived on 3 plantations as he was raised.
Wow.
And crossed plantation fields to just go borrow a cup of meal from his aunt because they couldn't afford to buy their own. And sometimes had to spend the night just to get back with that 1 cup of meal so they could just make breakfast or breakfast that extends to lunch. When I think about that hard work and then what I had to endure to become a lawyer, I can do it.
Yes.
Right? So you do have to overcome challenges in terms of you don't know anything, but I always utilize that underestimating me allow me to beat you easier because you never prepared for me. You always thought, she can't get through this deposition. She can't beat me at trial. And I always did.
Yes,
and it just gave me more courage. It gave me more strength. The only person who could tell me no was me.
So the people questioning you actually benefited you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely benefited you. And it's very interesting because a lot of times being a person of color, you have to, a lot of times I've had to put myself in a different mindset to not deal with stress because it can be very depressing facing that on a day-to-day basis. My wife is a doctor and she tells me about the same stories. Her medical school students are coming in and they think they know, and she's the Black teacher up there. You know, she teaches medical students as well. So I that's very, very common. So how do you deal with those stresses? Do you ever reach a boiling point where you say, I can't do this no more. I mean, I'm done with this. Does it get that aggravating? Because we know that is what society is. It's what it's been. Can we change it? I don't know. But how do you deal with those stresses in life?
Exercise.
Exercise.
Absolutely. The endorphins that emit in your brain
very interesting.
From running, it's a healing process. You can solve all world problems on a run, believe it or not. And it gives you that level of comfort that you need and to express the stress that you need to release just to exercise, honestly, because I don't want to give up. I don't want to reach that point where I say I'm not going to go back and battle this beast or this demon or whatever. Relationships. You have to have a support system. My husband is my support system. When I'm ready to vent, if he's ready or not, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Right?
Yeah.
You need those relationships as well. Someone who's going to listen, someone who's going to give you that needed advice and also to tell you when you're wrong.
That's right.
Because sometimes you're the creator of the problem. So, yeah, I never wanted to say I give up completely. Mentors were pivotal. I always sought out someone who looked like me, but I also found out that that's not always my answer, too.
Right.
I had very, very good mentors who don't look like me. They were men, they were white men who gave me a lot of good instruction, a lot of good leadership. But it was also important for me to find women who looked like me, right, who struggled like I did. One simple story is when I moved to Atlanta and I had no one to do my hair. And I thought, gosh, what am I going to do with it? I put braids in my hair. Yeah. Then I thought, am I going to be okay in the courtroom? And I realized the Georgia Supreme Court justice who sat on the bench had cornrows. I was like, that's it. I'm going to go meet her. So Justice Sears, that was my goal. And I met her, and she's a powerful woman. And it gave me the strength that I needed to know that building that relationship, hearing those words from her, the things that she would say to me to encourage me to continue to be who you are, will also allow for you to be successful. Yeah. And never question or allow somebody to change you, regardless if it's your hair, your toenails, your fingernail color, but make sure it's you, because that's what gives me my strength in order to perform to my 110% level is to be who I am.
I like it. And being who you are now, a creator of a very luxurious clothing line that is an athletic apparel. I've tried it on. The first day that I got my apparel, I went to sleep in it, you know. I wanted to see how, I wanted to be one with my Observer May, you know. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. So you go from a lawyer to teaching law to now you have your own apparel line. And so tell me, how did that dream all come into fruition, and why choose that name?
Well, for people who know me, when I say this word, they're going to laugh. I became an athlete, right? And they laugh because, like your wife, very bourgeois, working out was just not my thing. I just, fork to mouth was about the most I would do until I realized, hey, this thing is getting out of control and I need to lose some weight. So I ran a 10K in Atlanta. It's one of the famous 10Ks, but I had to do a couch to 10K training plan first.
Now, did you run the 10K or did you walk the 10K?
I raced the 10K.
Oh, you raced the 10K?
There's a difference between running and racing.
Greatness now, baby. Raced it.
I raced it.
I like it.
And once I ran a 10K, I met a young lady who was training with me, and she says, well, if you can run 6, you can run 13. I said, nah, I'm not doing a half marathon. Then, before I knew it, I was doing half marathons. Moved to Florida, I started doing marathons. And still practicing law, but again, remember I told you I needed a stress reliever. As my career grew, as my stressors grew, I needed a release, and my running grew, and my athleticism grew. And I realized, and our motto with Observer May is, we're good for your mind, body, and soul. Mm-hmm. It became good for my mind, my body, and my soul.
I love
because I began to just, it was such a change in life. I began to realize there was so much more importance, not just in the way I looked, because I liked the transition, but it was the way I felt. And when I felt good, my thought process about life changed into much of a more positive direction. Right. And then my soul started feeling good. You start helping other people also feel what you feel. Then, of course, I went back to I want to look good because I'm a shopper. And I realized that there's something out there that's missing. I was on a 15-mile run, realizing I can't see my watch, and it was cold outside, and I didn't want to stop my pace to try to tug on my sleeve. I didn't want to put my watch on top of my sleeve. I said, well, where's the hole at? I got it from my thumb. Where's the hole for the watch? And there it goes.
And boom.
Boom. I called my lawyer and said, hey, I want to patent this. He's like, so then what? And I said, oh, that's a good question. I don't know. He's like, well, manufacture it. I said, oh, well, let me take a try at that.
Oh, man.
Why not? Because, again, the only person who can say no is me. And then the journey began on Observer May becoming my next big passion.
I love it. All right. Well, before we get into that journey of Observer May, we're going to take another quick little break and pay some bills. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all stay tuned. We're going to be right back. You're on the line, all right? You're on the line. Miss Karen Denise Folks Robinson, Esquire, owner and operator of Observer May. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Like a Buccaneer. How you wanna ship you in a Buccaneer? 12 shots on me like a Buccaneer. Diamonds on me shining cause a Buccaneer. Big start defense Buccaneer. Feel go good with the Buccaneer. Want me shoot the cannon like a Buccaneer. Buccaneer, Buccaneer, Buccaneer. Where I pitch like a Buccaneer.
For all your national and local entertainment news, not to mention your favorite smooth soul and R&B flavors, log on to the letter N-touchnews.com.
Cancer affects everyone, but minority populations are often hit hardest. Moffitt Cancer Center is working to address the barriers that keep some groups from getting the care they need. African Americans develop cancer at a younger age, have more aggressive cancers, and experience worse outcomes than the general population.
While cancer treatment is evolving with precision medicine, who is being left behind? We know for many decades that some groups experience a greater burden of cancer than others. We can prevent it, we can detect it early. It's very beatable when we find it early. I've worked with cancer patients during their treatment. All cancer patients have courage.
So my treatment was about 18 months. I had 3 cancers and 7 surgeries. But my son told me, like, Mom, you're the strongest person that I know. Moffitt saved my life.
During COVID-19, Moffitt is a safe place for your cancer care. Call now to schedule an appointment.
Too easy, baby.
You know, all year I've been telling y'all, drink the Kool-Aid. Drink
Welcome back. You're mic'd up on Monday morning with yours truly, Michael Clayton. We are in the saddle with Miss Karen Denise Fultz Robinson, Esquire, owner and operator of the apparel line called Observame. And we were just talking. Miss Karen mentioned, I asked her, how do you deal with stress? Being a black woman, a black lawyer. Obviously, I'm married to a black queen as well. When she comes home, and she throws her stresses on me, it's like, all right, this is common, all right, in black women. How do you deal with your stresses? And she just so eloquently exercise. And it's just that simple. Exercise. And I told her a little story about, when I'm walking through my neighborhood or jogging through my neighborhood, how I would get emotionally charged on those walks. I couldn't explain it until you just kind of mentioned it, and it was very enlightening. So if you're out there and you're dealing with stress and you feel like you don't have money to hire a life coach, you don't feel comfortable being in a social environment of a church, or you cannot figure out, what church to go to, well, maybe the first step is to just get out and go for a jog. And sometimes, maybe a lot of times, that'll get you back to balance. I've learned that. And, that's knowledge for your soul. So into Observame, you are trying, I'm a fashionista, by the way.
All right.
If that's a word, for men.
It is.
Okay. So I like to dress up as well. I don't like to spend a lot of money on things to dress up. Not anymore. Because, see, when I played football, got the big wallet, I want big ticket items. And then when I retired and I look back on all the money I spent on suits and shirts and clothes and jewelry, I'm like, what was I thinking? There was a better way to do that. So I started tapping into, a cheaper way to do things. Stop buying $3,000 suits. Started buying $150 suits. Not just one $3,000 suit, 10 $150 suits. Therefore, I never wear the same suit twice. Add a different shirt, different tie. People think, man, how many suits do you have? Well, about 100. And I'm dressed for all occasions. So I fully understand. It was the first thing that I recognized when y'all came into Brightland, that your watch face was coming out of your sleeve. And the first thing that I said is, I need to get that, because I'm a fashionista as well. And being that I'm a person who just became a part of the Brightland team, on top of that, being recognized by people who are Brightland fans in the public, on airports, airplanes, everywhere I go, I didn't know how big the watch lifestyle was. People are everywhere. Nice watch, man. It's a wonderful watch. Oh, I got that watch. Always wanted that. I was like, man, this is amazing. So I was like, man, I need to get a shirt to kind of, show what I'm working with, a little bit. So you come up with an idea. You don't hesitate. You put it into practice, and you make it happen. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. So I kind of want to go into, how did you come up with the name design? What are some future designs that you feel that y'all will be able to bless the masses with? And any other thing that's coming from Observame?
Absolutely. Like you, I'm parsimonious, so I was very cognizant of the price point for our designs and kept that in mind for our consumers. So we are competitively priced, and we are priced perfectly because I like quality. The softness of the fabric, the non-chafing, the dry wicking, because I'm an athlete that I design for athletic performances and for the athlete.
Right.
So all of the benefits, such as the pocket in the back that provides for just like maybe a credit card or some fueling, we have all of that in mind. So I'll start with the name. Observame is Spanish for watch me. It's a play on words for you to have your watch through your sleeve, but also to communicate to those that are watching you, hey, see me evolve into who I am becoming, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally, whether it's spiritually, but it also, we like selfies. It's all about watching me. So I brought all of that to intertwine into the company because that's what we were about. We want to create change. We want to encourage you to change in whatever form or fashion. Right. We also advertise for athleisure. So a lot of our designs are just sometimes just sitting around and reading a book and looking good doing it. We want to encourage that as well because you can get up from the couch, go to lunch, go to the gym, or wherever you want to go, but our designs are mutable to that type of lifestyle. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
So the logo also means something. The O and the M is Observe May, but the O is a clock. And the M intersects at 6/18, which is my birthday. And the M is an homage to my brother who passed away because that's how he signed his name. So there's a meaning in everything that we do in our company. And we create, I believe, more of a family type atmosphere. And I sign every receipt that goes out because I want everyone to know thank you. We bought everything in-house. We manufacture in-house, we assemble in-house, we cut sew, and all of the designs are in Tampa Bay, Florida. Wow. And I oversee everything. And the reason why is because I want you to know you are a part of our family when you buy our designs.
Right.
So that's the creation of the name, that's the creation of the environment, that's the creation of the logo, and now the designs themselves. We have pants for men, we have pants for women, we have capri, we got the sexy look, we have the long pants for women. They also have more of a thermal layer if you want for warmer climates, if you're hiking. We have thinner layers if you're more in a summer climate because we did some expos here locally. And some of the Florida women would say, it's too hot in Florida. Not our designs. Right. We have a cooling type effect where we can keep the body, because when you walk inside of, for instance, Burns or wherever you may eat, and it's super cold, all of the designs are transitional. So from the outside to the inside, you can feel good either way. Yeah. For example, this morning, because they're also temperature-based. This morning was a 60-degree run, so I had on a longer sleeve design where I'm not overheated during the run. But then we have the long half zip where you can vent during the performance of your or actions, whether it's running, walking, or skiing, and you can vent the heat as well. So we keep all of that in mind in our designs. I have the high collar, that's more for a little pop of style. We have the hoodie. We have soon to come, sports bras are coming. So we have a lot of things in mind that we're going to cater to athleticism and to athleisure. And we don't leave the men behind. So the men, you have
leave us out.
No, you got your base layers, you got your crew necks. For the women, you have your V-necks, you have your hoodies, you have your long zip hoodie, you have your closed jackets. So we have a lot of different things. And same thing, soft fabric, that's why you can sleep in it. And a lot of people overheat at night, but it pulls the sweat off of you so you're not uncomfortable. And it's a great design.
I love it. And, I'm looking at your collar with the little red, what do you call it?
The accent color.
The accent color.
The color blocking.
That right there just pops to me. All right. How many different colors do y'all offer? And when you mentioned you do everything in house, are you the ones sitting up there sewing this stuff together, or do you you got you got your own manufacturing where so you can handle orders to upward hundreds, thousands of orders at one time?
Yes.
That's exciting right there.
Let me brag on us a little bit more.
Yes,
we were featured in British Vogue.
Okay.
And so we are international as well. We have soon pop-up stores coming in London. We are on Wolf and Badger, which is an international distribution site. So you can purchase items on Wolf and Badger as well as our website at www.observermade.net. And Wolf and Badger, we've sold to the UK, we've sold to Europe, we are looking at UAE, we're looking at Asia. So we're expanding, and we have expanded, which has been such a positive response to our brand.
I love it. I absolutely love it. When we talk about, coming up with the name, okay, Observer May, see me. How do you feel as an owner, as a creator, being able to obtain the knowledge to help people start their businesses? Because once you go through it, you now possess the testimony to show people, teach people. Do you do any of that? Because I meet so many people who they want to do this, want to do that, but they don't know what it takes to get a business off the ground and actually functioning. It's more to it than just having a nice product. You can have a nice product and not sell not one piece if you don't have all of the tools in line and have the know-how to get your stuff. Do you ever teach people, or is that something ever learning? How important is that?
That's extremely important to me as a professor, as a woman of color, because you don't know what you don't know. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have the resources or relationships, you're going to fail. There's so much to know in this industry. To grow a business, it's more than just I have something to sell. It's about how do you patent it? Where do you meet the attorneys? Where do you get the knowledge in order to determine your price point? How do you create your listing sheets? How do you create your lookbook? How do you develop your website? What do you do in terms of your payment systems? All of those intricate details are not in one location all the time. So you need someone to point you into the direction you need to go in order to fill in those gaps. I have phone calls that I can make to people, and I want to be that resource for someone else as well, because I would not be here if it wasn't for relationships. Wow. So I want to be a part of that circle in order to contribute my part. It's very important to give back. I told my students all the time, we are on a ladder of life. You always look down to see who's behind you to help pull them up, and don't be afraid if they pass you, because they may need to pull you later. Mm-hmm. So karma is real. You always want to give in order to receive. So I'm always available. I've taken phone calls from people in different parts of the world to say, hey, do you know how to fill in the blank? And if I don't, let me see who I can find to help you do that, because that's what I want someone to do for me.
Well, would you say that it was your success in being a lawyer that put you in that mind frame to help, to look back, to lift up? What was it that happened in your life that makes that passion a reality for you? So many people get their businesses, they're selfish, they only worry about themselves. There's panic in business, there's worries, there's obstacles. They don't have any time to do what you just mentioned. A lot of times I feel like, some of my biggest blessings have come from looking back, helping. You never know who you're going to help. And that allows you to get brand recognition. People thank you to other people. They're marketing you as a person. Man, such and such helped me out. It was so much. Next thing you know, that turns into an opportunity. What happened in your life that made you, I like to say, just a good person? That person. Have you always been that way? Was it a life-changing moment that said, man, I need to do better in my life?
Fannie Mae Foltz, my mother, always instilled in all of her kids that you have to be a giver, not always a receiver, and sometimes don't look to receive when you give. And the Bible says sometimes you give and don't even announce, and of course I'm not quoting verbatim, but you just give because that is the right thing to do. So it was my upbringing that was instilled upon me at very early in age, and I never strayed away. So whenever, even as a lawyer, as a student, as a teacher, I've always have filled in the time to be a giver. Yeah,
but you have to put. You got to put boundaries.
Absolutely. People
will take advantage of you too.
Look, as a lawyer, you're sitting at a bar, or you're sitting out somewhere, and someone says, hey, can I ask a question? Do you have $450 in your pocket?
Booyah.
And if you don't, no, you cannot ask me a question. But here's my card, you can call me. Because that question becomes, well, and then let me ask you one more, and then let me ask you one more. So you do have to set your boundaries. Now, I say that in jest, and sometimes you do answer the question, but people will take advantage of you if you don't set your boundaries.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. All right, we're going to take another quick break. We're going to come back in. We're going to wrap up the show. You're here with yours truly, Michael Clayton, and Miss Karen Denise Fultz Robinson. Their apparel line, Observer May. We're going to put everything in the comment section so that you can search their website and find out all about it. And this is a business you want to support. You're an athlete out there. You got that lifestyle. You need to be rocking Observer May. We'll be right back.
Big start defense, Buccaneer. Feel go good with the Buccaneer. Want me shoot the cannon like a Buccaneer. Buccaneer, Buccaneer, Buccaneer. Wear eye patch like a Buccaneer. How you wanna ship you in a Buccaneer? 12 shots on me like a Buccaneer. Diamonds on me shot it cost a Buccaneer. Big start defense, Buccaneer. Feel go good with the Buccaneer. Want me shoot the cannon like a Buccaneer. Hello? the one that tailgate looking real swole. This ain't Cali, we pros. Go Bucks, go Bucks, go. Nah, we don't wanna fight. Hit your heart like Mike, call him Devin White. Sue just got a psych on the quarterback. 13, 14 on the left and the right. Going deep, big catches, it's a hell of a night. Put return, kick return, ain't no running the bike. Get your team piped up, they don't know how to ice. Coach told me to get him in, I got it tonight. Shit, I'm just like, hello? Defense did it again. Looking like the Bucks finna win. Hit them boys right in they chin. Coach tried to hold them boys back. Look like they blitzing again. I'm trying to run through the ball. Do anything just to win.
I believe the reason why they won the game, right?
In Touch Radio.
This is Joel Sylvain
and Kevin Carr,
and we're with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives attract power and how they earn respect. Come join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Power Moves
on In Touch Radio.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers on the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
Too easy, baby.
You know, all year I've been telling y'all, drink the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid, cause the GOAT's in Tampa Bay. And we playing in the Super Bowl.
Welcome back, welcome back. The extended version. Just can't get enough, baby. We just got a few more things we want to put in the airwaves. You're back on Mic'd Up Monday with Folks Robinson, Esquire, owner and operator of the Paroline Observer May. Now, you got Miss Karen, you got a wonderful opportunity to market your brand, dressing some professional teams or staff members of professional teams. Tell us all about it so we can kind of keep you in our thoughts and prayers.
Absolutely. Thank you. L.B. Robinson, he is a former NFL player, and his partner, Rich Harrigan, have started a women's football team in New Jersey called the Tri-State Warriors, and we have the honor to address their coaching staff as part of their team gear.
Wow.
So we're excited about that opportunity and potentially the players as well. So we're growing in positive ways.
Well, keep growing little steps at a time. I will definitely be on board with some Observer-made products or all of the whole line. I tried on these pants, okay? You talk about Observer-made pants now. Now, these pants ain't these pants, they feel really good, but they like tights.
Yeah.
You know? They like tights. And I got little chicken legs, Karen. I got little chicken legs. So, I don't know about rocking the Observer May out in the pants. I don't know about the pants.
Throw some shorts on top.
Throw some shorts on top.
Nice,
you got
nice,
different
nice.
ways, so now we got the Observer May shorts. I like to coordinate.
That's right.
You got to coordinate. So I'm excited. I can't wait till y'all get that Observer May spank shirt so you can help men keep their bodies tight before they get it right. But yeah, he definitely needs
thank you.
something to pull it all in. But Miss Karen, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for reaching back and giving back to the community. Our thoughts and prayers are with you in this process of you growing your brand. We support you here, and we want to everybody to know that you got a beautiful black queen here that is doing major things here now in the Tampa area, and the only thing that is required, I believe, is just support. Whether you're buying Observer May, if you're just sharing this interview, if you're telling someone else about it, maybe you're buying it for a daughter who's playing volleyball. My daughter plays volleyball. I'll have an opportunity to, buy some Observer May for her teammates just to kind of help promote the business. And I promise you this, because I had this experience. Once you put it on, it's kind of like the feel. As an athlete, we always wear dry fit. We sweat a lot. The dry fit helps us stay dry. We can wear it anywhere, like she mentioned, go out in the public, do our athletic stuff. So I'm very familiar with the material, and I wear it all the time. It's my go-to material. So when I saw it, the first time I saw it, not only was I excited about the material it was, but I was also excited about the designs, the fashion designs on it as well. So congratulations to you,
Thank you.
on your efforts. I cannot wait to see you continue to grow. And we support you here on Mic'd Up and the In Touch News Network. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, are you a Bucks fan?
Oh, I am.
You are a Bucks fan.
I did see the game yesterday.
You saw the game yesterday,
I did.
so I didn't want y'all to go without me giving y'all a little breakdown of what I thought, transpired last night. So you watched the game. What did you tell me, Miss Karen? What did you see?
Well,
that's like, listen, women, tell you something. You arguing and complaining about your hubby or your boyfriend always on the TV watching games. And he on there. You better learn some football and know the game and be able to have a conversation. Why? Because men think that's that's dope. Men love that.
Oh, they do?
Oh, men love
that. They do. Well, men 6 brothers, I had no choice.
As long as you don't know more than us, like we may feel a certain way and you know more than us.
That's
like,
true.
That's a little too aggressive. But if you can hold a conversation, I was like, man, that's interesting. So tell me, I'm interested to know what you saw from the game last night.
I was nervous after the first half because I thought, hey, we got this in the bag going into the first half.
Yes.
And then second half, it seemed like they thought the same thing. So they were not playing as hard or as diligent, I thought. And then overtime made me nervous, but they pulled it out.
They pulled it out. It's all about finishing strong. And so I literally went on air, and what a lot of people don't know is, the different elements that go into an NFL game. So we're playing against a team that we probably should have dominated more so. The reality is this team on our schedule was one of the most difficult games, but because of how good we were, we should have dominated the game. But the Buffalo Bills are trying to keep their season alive. They lose this game last night against the Bucks, and their playoff hopes might be, down the drain. So when people are evaluating, the Bucks will blow them out by a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, 18 points, 16 points, whatever it happened, I said, no. This game's going to come down to the wire. This game's going to come down to the wire simply because the Bucks have not been able to close out games this year. Not one time. We've played good in the first half, bad in the second half. Bad in the first half, good in the second half. Good first 3 quarters, bad in the fourth quarter. Bad in the first quarter, good. We haven't really played our best football, and the concept of finishing strong and putting your foot on somebody's neck and closing out the game, that hasn't happened. As good as a team the Bucks are, it just hasn't happened this year. So when I evaluate a game, I said, well, we haven't been able to close out games. Buffalo Bills have a great quarterback in Josh Allen. He's a runner as well. All he needs to do is make about 3 or 4 running plays to keep the chains moving, and that alone is a difference maker. And then you're fighting for your season, which means you're going to be aggressive. You're not going to be scared, like you got nothing to lose. So this game is going to come down to the wire simply because we haven't reached our pinnacle yet, and this team is fighting to stay alive. Therefore, it will be a dogfight, which it was. The great thing about last night is that in the face of adversity, what the defending champs, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, showed you was that regardless of how we play, we have confidence that we can win the game. And when you have the GOAT, the great Tom Brady on your team, you got to believe that he reinforces that daily, every second of the day. And if you're a player playing next to the GOAT, you see his body language. I saw his body language on the sideline when the Bills are coming back and he's just focused, locked in. Hey, let's go. When you got a leader on your team like that who doesn't shy away from or doesn't back down from adversity, wants to meet that where it's at, you got a good thing. And that's the reason why he's the best to ever do it. So we're honored and blessed to have Tom Brady on our team. He makes everybody better. But our team is kind of, we're getting there. We're not quite there yet, but we're getting there. The great thing is that we're not even there yet, and we're still winning games, which is hard to do in the NFL. So total team effort last night. Special teams made a few big plays. Leonard Fournette, my LSU brother, is running the football now, and I believe Byron Leftwich is he's doing a tremendous job on his play calling. Okay, That play last night, people will say, oh, Brashard Perriman, he's back, man. He made this big play. Oh, man, all he did was ran a little simple little crossing route. That's it. Tom Brady, oh, he's so great. He threw that ball in there perfectly. It's only a 5-yard route. I can do that with my eyes closed. It was the timing of the play call. It was the rub, the design of the play call, kind of like the design of Observer Made. It was just perfect, you know? And then it was the positioning and creating a matchup. Brashard Perriman is a speed guy. You put him in a certain location at a certain time of the game where they're not ready, and he's going to be matched up with a guy who can't run as fast. This is the game winner call. This is the play that can put us in position to kick a field goal to win the game or can take it to the house. So in my opinion, when I see things like that, people want to give Tom Brady all the love because he's the GOAT. People want to give Brashard Perriman a lot of the love because obviously he made the big play. But I like to give credit where credit is due. Byron Leftwich making that call, having the knowledge to put his team in the best position to find the matchup to win without your caliber player, your top marquee players. Let's do it with a guy who we just brought in. So to me, that's greatness. That's showing his growth as an offensive coordinator. He was my quarterback when I played for the Bucs, so I love to give Byron Leftwich love. He will be NFL head coach sooner than later, so we support him as well. So that's all, man. That's all I got, man. If y'all ever want to talk Bucs, y'all hit us up on the In Touch News Network. You can drop your comments in the comment section. There's always an opportunity to call in as well. That is another episode of Mic'd Up Mondays. We want to give a special shout out and thank you to Miss Karen Denise Foster Robinson and the Observer Made apparel line. We're going to look good moving forward, baby, because we're going to rock the Observer Made. You better watch me, baby. I'm MC. You're Mic'd Up on Monday morning with yours truly. We will see you next Monday.